Hi everyone, it's me, Natalie. I've spent the morning thinking about the yearly Reading Women Challenge. Because it's Reading Women Month, I just thought, I wonder how I'm doing with that. So I put some stars. The stars are all the ones that I've read. And I'm that challenge participant who just reads what I want and then fingers crossed at the end of the year that they fit into the categories. But when I was doing this process, I realized the ones I haven't read require a little bit more direction and a little bit of thinking because they're the ones that I don't normally read, right? So I thought I would go through and pull some books from my shelves to fit into the categories I have yet to read and, get some oomph about me. Be a involved participant rather than just a fingers crossed one. I thought I'd go through the ones that I've fulfilled. The ones with the stars on them. And let you know what I've read for each prompt really quickly. So for the mystery thriller by a woman of colour, I read My Sister the Serial Killer by Kenyon Braithwaite. Great little book. For the woman with a mental illness, I read The Erratics by Vicky Lavelle Harvey, which was the Seller Prize winner this year. That is all kinds of messed up, that book. It's a non-fiction memoir and about a woman whose mother has a serious mental illness and all sorts of things. But I didn't particularly like the book, but it certainly fits in that category. For children's book, I picked Nevermore by Jessica Townsend, and we read Wondersmith as well. They're just fantastic books. Very excited about the next one to come out in January. A novella, I read Margaret the First by Danielle Dutton. For the myth retelling, I read Circe by Madeline Miller. That was just a joy. For a book by an Indigenous woman, I picked Too Much Lip by Melissa Lukashenko, who's a First Nations woman here in Australia. From the 2018 Reading Women Award shortlist, I read Terra Nullius by Claire G. Coleman. The book about nature is Where the Trees Were by Inga Simpson. I love that book. It opened up a lot of thinking for me. The historical fiction book is Fruit of a Drunken Tree by Ingrid Rojas Contreras. What a book. What a book. Seriously cool. The next one makes me cranky. I don't generally buy new books. That's a budget conscious kind of thing. I have 3 children I have to take care of, so not the indispensable cash that I would like. It's also a waste thing, But anyway, I bought this book brand new because I was sure I was going to like it, and I couldn't go wrong, and I didn't like it. And that was Normal People by Sally Rooney. Gosh, it makes me cranky when I see that book on my shelf. I paid $30 for that book. Anyway, move on. A book I did buy because of the cover, which I'm so glad I did, is The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart by Holly Ringland. Look at that cover, and what a book. Please, please pick this book up if you haven't read it. Holly Ringland's just won all of these fantastic Australian awards, and it's well deserved. It's a really powerful book. And the last prompt I have fulfilled is any book from a series, and I'll pick Death Wears a Mask by Ashley Weaver, which is the second book in the Amory Ames series. And if you have been watching any of my videos, you will have seen that I'm in love with Amory Ames. And these books are a delight to read. They're just cozy, fun mysteries. So there are all the prompts that I have fulfilled, all the star ones. And now we move on to the ones that I need to read, which I think I'm tracking quite well. But let's see if I can get through this stack by the end of the year. That's the test. So for the second prompt, the author from Nigeria or New Zealand. Yep, here it is again. But I've got to finish it soon. Honestly. Maybe if it's in a challenge prompt, I will get it done. There's nothing wrong with this book. I absolutely adore it. I've just been reading it for a very, very long time, and I'm not too sure why. So anyway, for the book about or set in Appalachia, I picked this up specifically because I thought of this prompt. This is Sunday Silence by Gina Nahai. It said on the back that Adam is been reporting in world's war zones, and then he returns to the Appalachian Mountains, and then he deals with his family, and then there's a kid that goes missing and all sorts of things. I'm not particularly wowed by the blurb, but because it said Appalachian Mountains, I picked it up. So yeah, we'll see how that one goes. It certainly fits the prompt. Tick. For a multi-generational family saga, which I'm surprised I haven't read yet because that's normally my bag. But anyway, I picked Home by Larissa Behrendt, and this is about an Indigenous woman who lives in the city and goes back to her ancestral lands to discover what happened to her family. It's by a First Nations woman, which is exciting. So I'm really glad that I can slide this into that prompt. Okay, the featuring a woman in science prompt. I'm drawing a bit of a long bow here, but I've got The Botanist's Daughter by Kate Nunn. This is about two women. So there's Elizabeth in Victorian England who tries to fulfill her late father's quest to find this really rare plant. And then we jump to present day Australia, and Anna finds this box with some seeds in it and all of this stuff. And then that obviously leads her down an interesting path. I liked the cover. I hate this because that normally spells just a really easy contemporary kind of read, and I'm not there for those. I want something that makes me think a bit more, but so we will see how we go. It's been sitting on my shelf, and because of this badge, I've gone, oh God. But you never know. If you've read this, let me know if it's any good, because I'm really wary of it. About a woman athlete, I was really surprised to find this on my shelf. But I've been collecting Lionel Shriver books because I really like her writing, and this must have been in a secondhand book shop somewhere. Yeah, this is about pro tennis players. Not really something I would read, but hooray that it's there, because I was stumped for that prompt. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. For a book featuring religion, I have chosen Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit by Jeanette Winterson. This is sort of, I think it's like an adopted daughter, and the woman who adopts her is this crazy, God-fearing, not crazy, but you know, like full-on God-fearing woman, and she gives her this, you know, presence of God, I don't know, something to do with anointing this adopted daughter, and then the adopted daughter grows up and works out it's a little too full on for her and tries to escape it. Yeah, that's a really roundabout, generalized, terrible description of this book, sorry, but I could have just said it's got a cross on the front, so that works, right? So I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that they've read it and loved it, and I really love Jeanette Winterson's writing. It's really heavy writing, if you know, if it's anything like the ones I've read before. So we will see. Prompt 12 is a Lambda Literary Award winner. I haven't got this one with me. I'll have to get it from the library, but this is Pages for You. This is, I had this on my want to read shelf, and yeah, I had never heard of the Lambda Literary Award before. So I'm excited that this prompt is in there, because it's opening up a whole new world of books for me, which we always love. Yeah, this is about, you know, the girl who falls in love with the professor kind of thing, but the professor's not all that they seem situation. We'll see. Not really something that I would, you know, I must have put it on my want to read shelf for a reason. Somebody must have recommended it along the way. So anyway, we'll give it a go. The next one I also don't have, but it's on my want to read shelf, and that's Rainbirds by Clarissa Gunneman. Is that how we say that? Anyway, Gunnawan maybe. You'll see it up there on the screen. Sorry. My writing. Yeah, she's from Indonesia. She's Indonesian born but lives in Singapore. And Rainbirds has something to do with two sisters, and one of them dies, and then the living sister goes back and starts assuming the dead sister's life or something like that. But then there's how did her sister die, and all sorts of stuff going down. We will see. Then we've got Romance or a Love Story. I saw this on my shelf. I mean, really. It's a Colin McCulloch book, this really famous Australian author. The Ladies of Missolonghi, I don't know. You know, it's set in the Blue Mountains, you know, women who, you know, are trying to work in this world, and who's their Prince Charming, and yada, yada, yada. It's only a little one. I'll give it a read, and it might just be a nice palate cleanser along the way. Oh, we've got a translated book published before 1945. I've skipped past that one. I have The Saga of Gösta Berling by Selma Lagerlöf. I bought this to participate in Britta Bowler's Nobel Women Read Along, but I just couldn't keep up because I can't do that stuff sometimes. So yeah, I bought it and then I never got to read it. So I'm excited that I will get to put it in with this prompt and give it a read. And then I'll be able to see other people's thoughts on Britta's Goodreads group and stuff. So yeah, really super excited that I could get to this. Then for the YA book by a woman of colour, I've picked The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. Obviously this is everywhere on BookTube, and lots of people have read it and loved it. I don't read YA, I put my hands up very plainly and say that, but maybe that's because I haven't read the right book. And so many people love this book, I thought, why not give this one a go? So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how I go with this book. And then for a play, I just thank goodness that I have Jacqueline from 6 Minutes for Me in my life. I was stumped. I was like, what the hell am I going to do for this? But she just read Black is the New White by Nakai Louie and loved it. And this sounds so much fun. And I haven't seen the production, which is such a shame. But yeah, I think I'm going to slide that one in for the play prompt. Phew, thanks, Jacqueline. So that's it. That's my Reading Women Yearly Challenge direction. I've got a plan, people. So this pile can sit on my shelf and I can draw from it and kind of plug away rather than just crossing my fingers at the end of the year, which is really the way I go about these things. I hope that you have your direction set up for Reading Women Challenge for the end of the year. And maybe if you don't, this might prompt you to have a play with the prompts and see how you're going so far now that we're halfway through the year. Anyway, thanks for chatting. It's great to chat with you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.